I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece, that mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ride it. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't pound to surround me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like black, yeah. And it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? And it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole you don't want smoke though, you don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke though, you don't want problems. No, I say you don't want problems. You don't want smoke though, you don't want.
Yeah.
First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Chicago Bears. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. They'll come up now, 2nd and 4 from the 31.
65.
They will run for the first time here with White. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
The throw complete. Trubisky to Miller, and he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
They'll run with White, and this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle.
2nd and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And some good running out of the gates as he takes this up to the 33. It's a first down on a gain of 10. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say, 200 plus?
They'll run with White. And he's got room. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories. And you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do. And when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
On first down, it's Watson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Alert 3, alert 3, alert 3. 22, check, follow. 22, check, follow. 24.
From the gun, a run for Johnson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Watson's throw pulled in by Hopkins.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. To throw again on 2nd down. Watson. He's going to have the hook up to QT. That one a first down pickup of 8.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
From the gun, here's Watson. That's complete. It's Gordon. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 25-yard line.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Watson on first down. He finds his man Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. So maybe just a momentary setback on what's been a great drive so far, but 2nd and 13 here. Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2.
Check 43. Hey, 59. Get it on. 44 to Mike. 44 to Mike. Check. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go. 31. He's crossing.
Watson looks to throw again. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Duke Johnson. His 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
These two teams all tied after 1. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On 2nd down, they'll run with White. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
From the gun on third down, it's Trubisky. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And avoids the contact by sliding. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. First down, here's White. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll go option on 2nd down, right? Now Trubisky lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
It's our field. It's our field. Hey, it's our house.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
After the interception, here's Watson. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Watch the run. 44 is the Mike. 44 is the Mike. Not here. 44. Mike, 44. Oh, yeah. Alert. Check 50.
Throwing again is Watson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll start the drive with a give to White. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Check 41. I'm on.
They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. I'm no offensive mastermind, but of all the guys on the field to block, you might want to stop him.
Look, I've got a very simple rule. An unblocked defender is usually your best defender, and he ended up making the play there.
Throwing here, Trubisky. Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Robinson's got it. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. So offside's the call, and they understandably decline it.
And this is why we're seeing more and more teams hiring that one coach to the staff that's in charge of all these things. This one's minor. It's pretty easy to figure out. But all the game management stuff, trying to help out the head coach in his decision-making process.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They go with White on the counter. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Trubisky gives to Cohen. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Hey, ball. Hey, 18.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And this is going to be no good. He missed it off to the left. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too. And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
I'm coming after you. 58 to Mike. 58 to Mike. Get that quarterback.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson over the middle, and it's incomplete. Duke Johnson, the one he was looking for. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. To throw is Watson, eluding the pressure right. He's letting this one go for Fuller, and that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And he goes out right around the 39. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Now, they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Trubisky will throw, and his throw is incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for, but it's going to be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Hey, Orbit.
From midfield now, here's Trubisky. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
What twist? You got to get moving, man. Man, move it. You got to get that. 44 is the mic.
Now a 1st down throw, Watson. And a catch made by Hopkins.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Johnson. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. Johnson on its poke free. Football's out. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Back to throw, Watson. Got Gordon open, completes it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
First down, Texans.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Check safety, check safety. Jim. Check. Check out right. Hey, 59.
Out of the gun, Watson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. Again, it's Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 42.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Under 10, under 10, 10.
The 1st down carry here for Johnson. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. The former Giant, Prince Amukamara, on the stop.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
They go to Johnson again. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Let's go. Check. Lucky. Alert.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. Bad time to get a delay of game penalty there. Not that there's a good time, but that makes it 3rd and 6. A shotgun snap for Watson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Oh, my goodness, I thought he'd peel off. Instead, he makes the fair catch at the 2-yard line. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11. So a little more space to work with here from the 13 on 1st and 10. Now White. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And they stop him short of the 1st as he can only get to the 20. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10.
Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day on this. It's going to be a long day. Shoot. Watch the shoot. Check. Hey, can you not?
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
On first down, it's Watson. Able to get this to Gordon. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Watson. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
That's something we have not seen him do to this point, and that's take the ball, tuck it, and run.
Exactly right. His first carry of the game. I guess he picked a good time to do it.
He certainly did. Not only did he have the element of surprise, he's making sure he's judicious in taking off.
Reset. 19. 44.
On first down, Watson. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Khalil Mack in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. Hold the look. 58,
running from the gun, Johnson. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post Because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
2 times. 2 times. 3 down. Check nickel. Hey, 31. Mike, 58, right there. Let's go, D.
Again, it's Johnson. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you're 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
They come out here in the eye. The Texans on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Check 43. One twist. Check it backer. And 24.
Watson now to throw. Flushed out right. He can touchdown, Texans. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They keep it on the ground. White again. And there is a flag, so a big 2nd down pickup, but will it hold? So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Good on. 180. Got to do better. Come on, QB. Come on.
On 2nd down, it's Cohen. And this Texans defense, they're all charged up now. They stop him behind the line for the 2nd straight play. It'll be a loss of 1, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Let's get it. Come on. 180. Alert. 41 Mike. Here we go, D. Smooth. 41, Mike, 41. 3 man, check 9.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. He's got his tight end, Burton. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. They'll run on first down. White, and this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Opting to run again here with White. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
The Bears on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 5. On third down, a run with Cohen. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Trubisky. He's got Burton here. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 16 yards is the pickup there on a first down for Chicago. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Trubisky now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now a carry for White. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
This is Cohen. Tashawn Gibson there on the tackle.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Check 3. What's the
They begin the drive with Johnson. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. On 2nd and 12, Watson flush to his right. And got his man complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. And Watson's going to throw it here. That's complete. It's Gordon. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
44, Mike, 44.
Now it's Watson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They're going to run the jet sweep on 3rd down. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Things just got interesting. They tried for the long field goal there to salt this one away. They don't get it, and now a little time for the other guys to mount a late drive.
Well, they thought their kicker would put it through the post and finish this one off. I'm sure they discussed pooch punting it and letting their defense take over. Well, the defense now has to make it stand up, but they didn't get the best field position because the ball comes back to the line of scrimmage.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. That's complete to Robinson. A good pickup, 17 yards and a bare 1st down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Get on. 180. Hey, alert. Hey, check Mike 37.
Back to throw. This one into the hands of Burton. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. He'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Burton. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. Trubisky now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. J.J. Watt in there to make the sack on what will be the final act in this ball game. Well, Charles, exciting to the very end. That's what we just saw in this game. Final play there, had it in the red zone, but anytime you're outside of the 10, that's tough. Trying to draw up a final play to get in, and they couldn't do it.
It certainly is. So what they were looking for was, extra time. Too bad it's not FIFA soccer, right, where you get a little bit of extra and you get a chance to run a couple more plays and maybe get closer and take that last shot into the end zone.
So for Houston, they do finish things out with a victory.
Up this magic with the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror now, I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dreams reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing. Now I hit the scene, they like lights, camera, action. Living in a dream, now my music, they be blasting. Step out, I'm a star, always in the latest fashion. Had to set the bar.